Hi, Jessica.
Oh, it's Shelly.
Hey, Jackie. Hey, Gisela. Hey, everybody.
Hey, Lene.
No, she can't.
Hi, Lene. Threw me off. Your name was different on your thing there.
For some reason, it's got my last name.
Oh, I see.
I'm the man lady.
I made the right decision. That one's good too, though. This one's just better.
Hey, Stacy. Oh, she's still connecting. Hey, Stacy. Do you hear me?
It looks like she's muted.
Yeah, that's all right.
Oh, I just figured out how to unmute. Hi. I'm new to the Zoom thing.
No, welcome. We're glad you're here. Yep, there should be, if you're on your phone or your computer, you should be able to mute and unmute, and you should be able to turn your video on if you want or turn it off. Either way. Hi, Lisa.
Who is Home's iPhone?
I don't know that one. I don't see him.
It would be something I would do. Well, you see, I have my last name, not my first name.
Okay, one more minute. We'll get started.
I should have got more water. I'm going to run and grab more water.
Okay. All right, we'll go ahead and get started, and then as people roll in, we'll do announcements, and then that way everyone has time to get on before Tiffany does her training. Welcome, everyone. I'm so excited you're here tonight. May was insane. And real quick, I'm going to go ahead and mute everyone. And then if y'all have questions throughout, feel free to unmute. Okay. All right, so May was insane. It was the best May as a team and a group that we've ever had. As Scentsy, who all, you can just raise your hand, watched Orville and Heidi's live last night? So most of you. Okay. So I haven't watched it yet. So y'all might have more information than I do, but I haven't had time to get on and watch it. But I think as a company, it was one of the best or the best that we've ever had. You can't hear me? I can. Blair can. Is it me? Is everybody having an issue hearing me? Lene can. You want me to just talk really loud? Okay. Stacy can hear. Okay, audio's fine. All right. Okay, so sorry, I don't know what's happening, but so it was a really good month, obviously, and who knows what June and July will bring. Our what is it called? So April was active in April, May was Slay in May, and June and July, we are making it Summer Sizzle. So it'll cover all of June and July and possibly August. So each day we have a theme. So it's Move It Monday, Tuesday is Training Tuesday, Wednesday is Work It Wednesday, and so on. So every day there will be a post coordinating with that theme. And it'll be ways to work your business. I know there have been a lot of ideas posted in the last 2 months. So these will probably be similar, but we'll add another twist to it. So just be on the lookout. It'll be posted every morning by 9 o'clock, which some of us wake up before 9 and some don't. So that way it's a good time for everybody. I'm one of those that don't. Real quick, the SFR kit, if you pre-registered or you registered before the end of May, you can now register for your kit. There are a few different kit options that you'll see. If you were an earner, you can get the Enliven kit and upgrade if you want, or you can just take your free kit. And all of the details are posted in the group page. If you haven't registered for SFR, then get on it. Let's see. The child. So emails have started going out depending on what time you did the pre-sale for the child, like forever ago, whenever that was. And if you haven't gotten an email yet, don't stress. It was just up to a certain point. They've started sending them out. So if you're like, I pre-saled on that date or in this amount of time, where's my email? It's coming. It'll just slowly roll out. So they're not going to run out at all. It's just if they sent all the emails at one time, it would bog down our already slow shipping times. So they're just slowly rolling them out. You have until, I believe it's the end of July to finish ordering them. And if you have any questions on how to do it individually, all of that stuff, feel free to post and ask or message your sponsor or your director. There will be new orders. So say you're a new consultant or you didn't have anyone that wanted pre-sale, so you didn't order any. They will be available June 18th to order. Oh, also Tinkerbell warmer came back today, and Bring Back My Bar starts. So make sure you are getting all that information out there, as well as the warmer and scent of the month. I have a feeling that the warmer of the month will sell out, just like the last few months. So if you have a customer on the fence, make sure to contact them and say, hey, like, don't wait. If you do have any needs, like we have the back order list posted as an announcement up at the top, and as that is updated, I'll keep it updated. But if you have something that you're in need of, feel free to post and ask for it. We're a team, so there's a few of us that keep stock on hand, or we purchase stock to sell for shows that were canceled. So we are here for you guys to that. Also, I'm in need of a #1 dad warmer. Shameless plug. So if you got one, let me know. Let's see. And the newsletter. If you're on my team, I sent out a newsletter today that was accidentally sent and it was unfinished. So I'll be sending a new one out. So everyone makes mistakes. So I hope you enjoyed it. It literally only had the top 10 and nothing else was filled in. I was like, oh my gosh, but it happens. All right. Any other announcements I missed you can think of? No? All right. So with that, we're going to turn the time over to Tiffany.
I probably should unmute for that, huh? All right. Yeah, no, I was trying to think. I knew there was something else earlier today. I was thinking announcing, but I think you covered it. It was probably right now, y'all, it's only $11 to register for Reunion to have access to everything, right? I think that you still get access to everything. Isn't that correct, Shelly? Okay. Yeah. I'm pretty sure. You just don't get like the t-shirt and the lanyard and that kind of stuff, but you can still have access to everything. So I would highly recommend that. It is a tax write-off and $11, and you get to go to all the trainings and see all the stuff. Super awesome. So, okay. So I was checking the chat. So I'm super excited to talk to you guys about one of my like absolute favorite things in Scentsy, which there's a lot really, but follow up has been like my passion over the years. And now like Scentsy has made it, like I thought I was doing good with follow up and I was doing terribly. And now I'm doing phenomenal and it shows in my business. And I think, oh my gosh, what if I had started this 10 years ago? We're about to celebrate 10 years with Scentsy. If I had started this then, where would my business be now? So, you know, I'm looking around and I don't know all of you, but I know a couple of you from my team and some of you are newer. And I would just encourage you to truly embrace follow up and to jump in as best as you can with it, because it truly is going to make a difference in your business. So I'm going to focus on what I use. And unfortunately, it's all on my phone, which is sitting in front of me. So I can't even look at it while I tell you about it. But most of us spend a lot of our time on our phones anyways, right? We're text messaging, we're Facebooking, we're talking to people, whatever. We've got our phones with us. If you're like me, unfortunately, you have it on you almost all the time. And so to me, it made perfect sense that my follow-up system would be on my phone eventually. And that's exactly what Scentsy's kind of created with us or for us by partnering with Amy, AMI, which used to be called Maven. And I think still on the workstation, it shows Maven sometimes. And so you'll still see Maven out there. But this app was created and Scentsy has partnered with it. And it has been like the most amazing thing ever. Like, I cry if I start even thinking about it going away because it's truly changed my business. So how many of you, those of you I can see, or maybe you can just comment over there, how many of you currently use Amy Maven, or you've at least tried it? Okay, I see some hands. Okay, a couple of people. So do you actively use it or you just have it? You actively use it? Stephanie's shaking her head. Iffy. Okay, that's all right. That's okay. I'm not always great with it either. I know Shelly and I sometimes will be Marco and we're like, oh man, I haven't done my Amy in a couple of days. So I'm not like, I don't religiously do it, but whenever I start picking it back up, and that's what's great about it, it keeps it all in there. So I'm going to kind of focus mostly on that. And then also kind of tagging that up with recruiting, because I think they can go hand in hand heavily, right? So Amy, AMI, you can actually get a free trial for this. So if you've never done it before, you can go on the workstation and you can actually sign up. And I think new consultants get even longer for free. I think you get 3 months for free to do it. Now, I will say there is a free version of Amy. I've never used the free version. I was actually in the group that got to test it out before it actually came out. So I never used the free. I've always had the like premium or whatever they call it. And I would recommend that. But if you don't have the money for it right now, try the free one and just go with it. And we can work with it together. You can chat with us on the page and we'll work on it together. There's also a Scentsy Amy page. I don't remember what it's called. Sell with Amy. No, that may be the Amy's page. Anyways, there's one on there and I can tag that on the group page too. But you can go on there and get tons of resources, tons of trainings on there. They've made lots of training videos and it really works together. So just real quick, Amy, what is Amy? Why should you get it? Okay. Amy syncs up with the workstation. Okay. So when you get a PWS order on the workstation, or when you put an order in on the workstation, Amy's going to know who your customers are and what they order. Okay, so this is why it's important when you put in your workstation orders, you put it under your guests. So you would add guests on your orders. When you put in a party order, I know not everybody does it this way, and that's okay. This is the way I do it. I didn't used to do it this way, but this is the way I do it now, okay? So on my party order, when I go put in a party order, I add in every single guest now, okay? So Stephanie's in there, Jessica's in there, Kimberly's in there. I'm going to add them all in there, right? Blair's in there. I'm going to have you all. And if you order one single bar, I'm going to put one single bar under your name, even if it's going to all be shipped to me, okay? I used to combine and save and do all that. I don't do that anymore because I love how Amy syncs it up and it makes less work for me. and I get more PRV. They're already paying for it anyway. So I might as well just let them pay their order, call it a day, right? So I put their order directly under them on that party in the workstation. Then what happens is overnight, like little fairies go around and they connect together, and the workstation and Amy become this magical like thing. And suddenly those orders are now in my Amy system. And then Amy has it set up where I follow up with them at different times, and I can adjust it if I want to wait a couple days or if I want to do it quickly and that kind of thing. So on your Amy, you would actually be able to see, you wouldn't have to do anything as far as that part goes if you're putting them in on the workstation that way. Or if it's a PWS order on your website, right? Your personal website, they put in an order, same thing, it connects. So then what happens is, I think I have mine set up after 2 days, it sends me a to-do. I have a to-do list on there. I go into my to-do list and it's going to tell me, go and thank that person, right? Now, some of these people I just talked to and I put the order in for them and I already thanked them. So sometimes I don't worry about that. But if it's a person who put in an order and I didn't realize it, it gives me a good opportunity. Or what I like to do, and I don't know if I've got all my stuff by me. Oh, here's a good. Okay, so I make postcards. Thank you postcards, because these are cheap to mail, right? Postcards. You can buy a bunch of postcard stamps. And that thank you follow-up, you can write them a little postcard and then mark it as to do. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a text or a call. I'm a texter, so I text almost all my to-dos. But it could even be as simple as you write a thank you card for them and you put it in the mail, right? And then you check it complete, because that's a huge part of your business, right? And we would love Happy Mail right now in our mailbox, right? So then, after I think 2 to 3 weeks, it like checks in and it says, you know, how are you liking your product or whatever. I like to go in, especially right now, and make sure they've actually received it, because there's been a few times I'm like, how are you liking it? And they haven't received it yet. But it has you follow up with them with that. And then the further ones 3 months out, checking in to see if they need stuff. So to me, when I follow up, the key is always changing kind of what I'm saying. And I really base it around what's going on, okay? So for instance, when the NFL warmers were out, you guys, we had a competition on the page, didn't we? Like some of us were excited and we were really getting into selling pre-orders of those. So I was messaging in my follow-up, and I was actually posting a picture image in there. There's different ways you can do that. I'm not going to go into all that, but depending on if you have an iPhone or an Android and all that, changes how you do that. But I was sending pictures in my follow-up. I've also, we did a training before, and I've got a video, I think, on it about doing Google Forms. Love me some Google Forms. I know several of us have jumped on the Google Form bandwagon, right? That's another thing I've been doing in my follow-up with people, including in a link to a form that already has all that information in there for them. And they can actually pre-order the NFL warmers, not anymore because they're gone. They could, you know, order the warmer of the month that's going on right now. I can have the different things and I can adjust it each month, right? So the key really here is keeping up with these people. I know that there are things I use, different products that I bought from other people. I do Color Street, right? I've got my nails. If these people followed up with me, honestly, I would probably order again. But how many of you use another product? You don't have to say what it is, but how many of you use another product and you've never heard from that consultant again? At least something, right? Okay. People don't do good with this, right? But if they sent you a message, most of the time we're not going to be annoyed with them, right? We might ignore them. Oh, I don't need anything right now. But if they kept messaging me, I'm going to need Color Street again, right? Like you're going to need these products. And it's the same idea. We have a product that's consumable. It runs out, right? They need it. If you're not following up with them, it's not, what's going to happen to those people? They're going to go find somebody else because they're finding me. I get people all the time that say, well, I've never heard from my person again. People, I message my own customers that'll say, oh my gosh, I lost your number. And I'm thinking, I'm so glad I'm following up, right? Because if I didn't follow up with that person, then they would never order from me. They'd find somebody else because I didn't do a good job. I think there's even, I should have looked up statistics. There's all kinds of studies that show you really have to ask somebody sometimes 5 to 6 times before they'll ever buy or join your team, right? So it's key to keep doing this. You're not bugging them. I have some people that I literally, they do not respond to me. And then all of a sudden I get a PWS order from them. And I never hear, even when I thank them, they don't even respond to me. I thank them, I do stuff, Nothing. And I think, okay, whatever. And all of a sudden, PWS or suddenly they're in my Cincy club, and I didn't even show them how to do it. So, are you catching it here? This is huge. I'm telling you guys, huge. To give you an idea, in the month of April, okay, a month that I think we all thought was not going to be so great, right? I literally had a huge event, one of my biggest events. I mean, huge event that was supposed to take place. And Shelly knows because there were tears. It was bad. I was ugly. March was not pretty for me when they canceled my event that was going to happen in April. And I really thought, what's going to happen with my business? And I just follow up. That's all I did. I did no home parties. I did no Facebook parties. I maybe did one. I might have done one. I did $4,200 in the month of April just from following up. That's huge. I mean, and I'm not a $4,200 a month for following up kind of person. I'll do events and maybe get that, but I'm not going to necessarily get it from PWS orders. Can you imagine if every time you opened your email, you saw PWS orders? Have you gotten a PWS order before? Anybody, a random one? Isn't that fun? When you open up and you're like, oh my gosh, someone bought from my website. Like, because you didn't have to do anything necessarily, right? Like, that's the key here, okay? So in addition to that, I'm going to tag this together also with recruiting, because what's happening, I'm noticing now, Shelly, I don't even remember. How long has it been? We've had Amy now 2.5 years, maybe? I don't know, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I think that's somewhere about it. I know it started in the spring. I just don't know if that's 2 years or 3 years ago, because I feel like we started in 2. So I am seeing what I truly believe to be the fruit here. You've got to plant those seeds, right? You have to grow this. So this isn't going to be overnight. You're not going to just start following up with people. If you message me tomorrow and say, oh, well, I followed up with everybody and nobody wanted anything, I'm going to say, well, good, keep going. Add more people and keep following up, right? Because at some point it's going to happen. They're going to want their Scentsy. They're going to need their stuff, right? They need their wax. They need their pods. They need their oil, whatever they need. You've got it. They need light bulbs. They definitely need light bulbs, right? So what's happened is I'm seeing now this cycle of people who were not regularly buying from me before are now regularly buying from me before. Okay, so then when you see somebody who's regularly buying from you, I hope in your mind you immediately think, oh my gosh, why isn't she just buying this from herself, right? She could be making her own money. She probably has a few friends that also do it, right? And just need some stuff. So it's $200 every 4 months. She can do this, right? So I'm finding a lot of times I'm throwing that out there. And Amy Maven also has places for you to label people as potential people to join your team. So these could be people that you just think, man, I just love her and I just want her on my team. You know, that person is just awesome and I think they would just rock this, right? Or it might be someone who you're like, they're ordering. I have one person orders like 200 every month and every other month, and she's in the Scentsy Club. She hasn't joined yet, but I'm going to keep working on her because I don't understand why you don't want to make your own money. But you know what I mean? So just throwing that out there. We have Hostess join kits, okay, that you can throw in on every single party you ever close. I don't know if I should get into that. Should I get into it? Should I just go for it? Let's do it. Okay. Do you guys know about the Hostess join kit? No? Okay. Some of you do, some of you don't. Okay. So I'm just going to go over it real quick. Every time you close a party, a successful party is 200 or more, right? Every time you close that party, you can join join in there, add in there for using the host rewards. You can add a Hostess exclusive kit. Okay. It's $59. But the rewards go towards that, okay? So if you have a $200 party, that's $20 in rewards, right? So now the kit's only $39. If you have a $500 party, that kit's free because you get $75 and you use $59 of that, okay? But here's the key. You could literally throw in, if let's say it's a $200 party, okay? And you have $20 free. You can actually put in $19 in free, or even $19.50 and have that, as long as there's something remaining, you can throw that kit on the party. Okay. So there is no reason that we can't every single month at least offer a $59 kit. Okay. Because they can still pay full price for that, even if they're not the host of it. And if you need training on that, we'll go into that later, because you have to make sure they're the host, and you got to tweak it a little bit if it's a different host. Okay. If someone's hosting for you, that should always be your first person, right? You should always start there. Hey, you know, Diana, you totally rocked this party. Way to go getting those sales. You know, if you put in this $200 order and you put this kit in there, you can even flip the PRV to them right then. So tell them, hey, you're going to make $40 off of this, and you're going to spend $39 on the kit. I mean, do the math. $40 you're going to make, spend $39 on the kit, plus you're going to get products with the kit and a business. So literally $1. Tax might cover in there, right? But that's the kind of verbiage you're going to use with it, right? So with my follow-up, I offer these kits because not every host wants them, right? Sometimes I'm like begging people to try to take this kit, but I would encourage you, anytime you have a party, try to get someone to take that kit. Okay. And you don't have to give them the rewards on it. You can charge them the full $59. They're still going to get a warmer. They're going to get all the testers. They're going to get, I think, a little thing of washer whiffs and a wax bar. They're still going to get a good amount of stuff for $59. Okay. Obviously they can get 99 as well. Either one, doesn't matter. So when I'm following up with these people, I'm throwing that out as well. I'm noticing, do they have the tag on there that says they are interested in joining my team, or that I want them to join? I think they would be awesome at it, right? Because that's the key. We want to be surrounded by people who we know either really could use this or would just totally rock it, right? Because we never know who's going to fall in those categories. So when I'm following up, I'm looking for those little things that they kind of throw out there that say to me, either one, they're a stay-at-home mom like I am, who maybe wants to homeschool their kids. I'm a homeschool mom, and maybe they're looking for some extra income, and they are home with their kids all day, so they can't necessarily go out and work a second job to help bring income in the home, right? I'm looking for those kind of people. Or the people that say, oh my gosh, I'm just working too many hours at work. I'm exhausted all the time. Little things. And when you're following up with your customers, you're going to start hearing those things, because some of them will respond. Oh my gosh, I enjoyed meeting you. Oh my gosh, that was so great. You know, figure out your thing, and they're going to catch into that, right? For me, it's my family, my kids, my boys come along with us for our events. So a lot of my customers will say, oh my gosh, your son like totally sold me on that, whatever. So when you're following up, you're building relationships with them. And when you're using that Amy Maven, it makes it easy, because I'm super forgetful. I literally had to set an alarm because I knew I'd probably forget this tonight if I didn't. And then Shelly would be messaging me while you guys were all staring at her, and she'd be like, Tiffany, because that's what happened the first time I was supposed to do this. And so I was not going to let that happen again. But so Amy simplifies our life, y'all. If you're worried and stressed, how many of you have been in, let's say, longer than 3 years with Cincy? Anybody long-termish? Okay, good. Okay, so if you've been in a while, you've been in around long enough to see multiple follow-up systems. Okay, notebooks, right? We had notebooks. We had file cards. I made a whole bunch of file cards and put everybody's name on them. I've done probably just about every follow-up system I've done, and have loosely been successful for half a second, and it's just not worked. This has worked for me because it's not something I'm having to do specifically. Maven and the workstation with Cincy are teaming together to set it up for me. So all I have to do is literally, I mean, you guys, we have our phone with us all the time, right? When we're sitting down on the toilet. I'm just saying. Just saying. We have time. We could throw out a few texts, and it only takes a few seconds, right? So maybe you don't take your phone to the toilet. That's fine. But maybe it's when you're sitting down and you're about to watch a television show or whatever. And I feel like if I'm not doing something useful, it drives me nuts. So that's when I do it sometimes. And I just pop them out quick. And with it, you can have all these, what are they called? See, I don't have my phone to check. The messages. You can like pre-program the message and change it. And every time you go to message these people, it'll already have your little thing in there. And so you don't have to keep typing it. It's not, you know, like, oh, hey, Christy, and you have to type it all out again. No, it's like, it even puts her name in there. You can put, hey, first name, and template. Thank you, Stacy. Template, that's what it's called. Message template, right? And so you can change it and customize it. And if you're not creative, you have a whole group. Look around. Look at all these amazing people that are on here right now. We're all here together. We're all working on this together. We will help you come up with templates and things to say. Or the Maven, Amy, Cincy page that I can't remember the name of right now. Lots of people post their message templates on there too and give great advice. What should you say after such and such time? It tells you on there. I'm just telling you, if you're not following up, you're missing out on money, real money, because people, especially right now, I think people are all just sitting around, right? We're starting to get, you know, moving out again, but there for a while, everybody was just excited. Anybody was texting them. My people who ignored me all the time were texting me back and saying stuff because people just want that, okay? The other thing I was going to show you, I'm going to move over here, maybe. Okay, is my other, what do? Happy Mail with my customers as thank you gifts. Now, I will say, start where you're at, okay? Whatever you have. Don't feel like you need to go out and spend a lot of money. Don't feel like you need to, you know, break the bank on this, okay? It's all a tax write-off, anything you do for it. But I would say start where you're at. When I first started, I just started with thank you postcards. That's what I did, because postcard stamps, I was like, okay, that's pretty cheap. I could order a bunch of postcards from Vistaprint. I love Vistaprint, and I get them on their sale and all that stuff. And so a thank you card, I mean, people don't get thank you cards anymore, right? So they love this. But I also really like sending Happy Mail. And I try to, when I have free and half price stuff, I'll grab a bunch of scent circles and car bars and stuff like that. So I now in my office have this like little workstation here that I totally love. But I like try to keep this simple. So I have a basket that I throw car bars in that I get on sale when they have the clearance sale, that they're like $1 or something. I grab a bunch of those. Like I still have some of the Go flyers. I have some of the pet flyers, stickers, things like that in here. I found these little like thingies for $1.24 at Hobby Lobby to throw in. I mean, these are kind of fun things that you can get. You can get these clear. I'm really digging the clear stuff right now. But these are the kind of things that people get excited about. Like someone like told me do this like Easter fluff stuff, right? Always get rid of your scent of the month things, which you should be getting with that. These are my new like absolute favorite things ever. I love these. They're clear on one side and not on the other. But anyways, these are great things to do in your follow-up system. You can include the Happy Mail. So maybe your step 2 or whatever, you can do the Happy Mail on there and then include that. I feel like I'm a little all over the place, so that's usually how I roll. But the Happy Mail goes in hand with the follow-up, and then I try to throw in the join packets. It's constantly just talking about people. And I think last month, I think we had 6 join our team, and that was pretty big for us. I'm not always, oh, perfect. I think Shelly just tagged it. Awesome. I'm not, what was I saying? I totally got sidetracked. I don't know. I went off, but that's good. The Facebook group's on there, so you can add that. My group. Man, it just went gone. I have no idea what I was saying. Oh, yeah, 6 new ones. But none of them came in the same way. They were all different stories and different situations. And I think the key is just constantly being open to it and open to talking about it and talking about why you love Scentsy. Because there's a reason you're on here. There's a reason you're on here right now, right? Like you're taking time out of your evening. You've taken 37 minutes already to sit here and listen to me babble. So there's got to be a reason you want more out of your business, right? I think we all want something, right? In fellowship, friendship, things like this. I have met some of the most amazing people through this business. Those are the things that when you're following up with people and you can tell, oh my gosh, this person just wants to hang out. Like, come on, like you want to join my team because we got tons of people that love to hang out, right? and we love to go to events together, and we do these things together, and we have this page that we can come and chat and we can talk about these things. And so I think that's really key in kind of the follow-up tagging along with the recruiting, because the more you're following up, first off, they're seeing your name a lot more and they're finding out who you are. I like to add them on Facebook, but I'm also like, I share a lot on Facebook. Not everybody wants to do that. I do that intentionally because I feel like that's part of my brand. For the longest time, I didn't know what that meant. But I think I have finally figured out that I'm my brand, who I am and what I'm portraying and sharing out there, right? And so for me, that's my family, that's my homeschool life. I'm also a foster mom, and I'm sharing those things. And by following up, that gives me an opportunity, because the follow-up doesn't have to always be asking about a sale. The follow-up can be, hey, I just want to connect with you on Facebook. Are you on Facebook? Can we be friends? Or add to the VIP page or whatever. If you saw us the last time, I talked about my customer appreciation bingo nights that I absolutely love. So those kinds of things, when you're following up, think outside the box. Don't always make it, hey, here's my link, order something. Keep it informative. That's what I like to do, informative. Hey, I wanted you to know NFL warmers are out. Oh my gosh, right? You need this. Hey, oh my gosh, the child is coming out. You want this, right? Things like that. And I just share. Hey, you don't know maybe, but our spring summer stuff is out right now. Or hey, we had a summer collection. Things like that. I try to focus in on those instead of always being, you know, about the sale. Give me the sale, give me the sale. Okay, I wasn't watching the chat box. Was there anything? They don't respond. Yes. Okay, so Blair, I understand that. And sometimes it can be frustrating, but I think this is why I like text messages, because I just send them out and that's it. You know, hopefully they respond. And if they don't, I don't sweat about it, you know? Now, sometimes I will go to send them that next text and I'll be like, oh my gosh, I'll scroll back through and I'm like, text after text of me saying something, they never respond. But I never know. And actually the people who do respond say wrong number. I'm like, okay, but if you ever need Scentsy, here's my website. It hasn't paid off, but it will one day. I just know it. So you just never know, right? Who's going to need it? So I completely understand that. Oh, good. Shelly shared. 80% of sales are made between the 5th and the 12th contacts. So a lot of people will ignore until they finally need something. Absolutely. I have found that truly. If any of you have used Amy for a while now, I'm sure you have seen that in your business too, that after a while, people just suddenly need stuff and they know when they need it, and you send that message right at the right time, or they at least have it in their phone, or they've saved it or whatever. But continue, don't stop. And I love that Amy Maven sets it up where it, even if you haven't talked to them in a long time, there's that follow-up as well. And that's when you throw out, hey, we had the $20 join special, right? Like that was a good follow-up time. I would throw it, hey, I just wanted to let you know I've got a $59, you know, exclusive kit that's available. I've only got one, you know, and that kind of thing. It show those kind of things. Okay, does that make sense? Questions? Talk to me. Someone else. Oh, I missed it way up high. Last month, just one order was over 200. Awesome. Ended up with around 600 just from follow-up with 10 people. Exactly. That is key. I had one person follow up with me, and she was about to put in a PWS order of $200. And I was like, whoa, wait a second. I'll put that in for you on my website, on my workstation, right? Now she's going to get free, and she's going to get discounted shipping. And I ended up saying, hey, why don't you just get the kit? And she did. She joined, and I flipped the PRV. And that was all from that following up and her having my message and her reaching out and saying, hey, I just want to know, how's this going to work? When am I going to get this? What's going to happen here? And I was able to turn that around because she had my information. If they just find you randomly, I mean, obviously those are great sales too, and we like those, but we don't want our customers going and looking for a random website to order from. We want them to come to our websites, right? And they're going to be more likely to do that if they've heard from us at any point in the last few months, right? And Amy sets it up where it's almost impossible for you to not be reaching out. In fact, some people, it tells me to do a bit too much, but that's okay. I'm not complaining at all, because I'm like, I just ignore whenever I knew I just messaged them. And if I didn't, I find something new to tell them about. Like Clary the platypus is coming out. Who's excited about that one? Anybody? No? My kids. We love that show. So anyways, it'll be exciting for some of your customers. So share it. That's the other thing. Follow up with these people and share the things even if you don't like them. I could care less about that stupid child. I mean, other than he's kind of cute. That's the only thing. He's Baby Yoda. He's cute. But I have no idea. My kids watch that show and my husband, I didn't care. But you know how many of those I sold? Because I just shared it with people. And I pretended I liked it. Oh, look. How cute is this thing? Whatever it is. So share. Follow up with people. Okay, anybody else? Questions? Comments? Success stories? I think that's all I got, Shelly, if you want to add anything or if anybody wants to unmute and say anything.
Yeah, that was great, Tiffany. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I can't say enough good things about doing follow-up. I've said it before, but the first 10 years of my business, I didn't really do follow-up. When things seem a little too hard for me, I just ignore it. And follow-up was one of those. It was like I couldn't fathom putting together a system that was efficient and that would work. And so I just didn't. And with Amy, it has allowed me to do it anytime. It's not overwhelming. I mean, right. I say that right now, I probably have like 170 follow-ups.
That can be. Now they categorize them. So now you just pick a category. And just
that's true. I can't ignore some of the categories. But like most of May, I'll be honest, I didn't do a lot of follow-up. I had a lot of other stuff going on. And when I get overwhelmed, I'm like, if one more person asks me to do something, I'm out. Like, I can't. And so I was like, if I follow up, that means more people are going to be asking me for stuff. And I couldn't. But what's great is it's there. And so I'm like, my May's over. All the people that were asking me for stuff, they're done asking. And so I'm like, now I can sit and I can bust out that follow-up, those 170, I can probably bust them out in 30 minutes. So in the long run, if you're a paper and pencil kind of person, that's totally fine. I still have a few things that I do that way. I'm still a list maker. I mean, I have pages of lists and every day it's like, okay, what's my list look like? But long term, if you just come to the dark side and you join the Amy, it's just so much easier. You can do it from anywhere. If you're sitting in the car, if I don't know, it's summertime, if you're by the pool, you can just quickly like done. So and I guarantee
you can be sitting. I go to the park with the kids, and while they're doing their stuff at the park, like I'm popping out a few real quick, and I'm no shame. Then I stick it in my pocket and push the kids, and then do another, and I respond later. Sometimes they respond to me, and then I respond in a little bit. I do it as I can, but yeah, just squeeze it in when you can. And I didn't say it earlier with the because we kind of talked about how there was a free version and a paid, but there's like a monthly amount or there's even a yearly, and you could just pay it by the year, one chunk, and it's cheaper that way. That's the way I like to do it. Mine just came out the other day, and it's a tax write-off again. And you can keep record of all that and count that off too.
Yeah. Oh, good, Blair. I do them at work when the kids are napping. Gisela said fortune in the follow-up. It is. And I didn't understand that for such a long time. I was like, well, I don't want to bother them. Well, I don't want to be pushy. Well, if they need something, they'll contact me. But like Tiffany said, they lost my phone number because they got a new phone, or they threw away their last Scentsy bar that had my contact info and they couldn't find it. If you've ever done a show, someone will come up and go, don't tell my Scentsy consultant, or I lost it. It's all the excuses. It's the same. It's all the things that Tiffany covered and more. And so it's just, if you want your business to grow, and if you're like, oh, I'm not getting any sales, I promise you, they're not just going to come to you. They don't just float down like little rainbows and butterflies and go, here's my order. Like,
I mean, maybe your mom will.
Yeah.
But the rest of the people may not contact you.
Yeah. If you want consistent sales, if you want to be a leader and you don't want to have to worry about getting that 500, or long term you're like, you know what, I want to be that person who always does 2,000 a month, or you want to do and earn the annual sales award. I mean, it just started over in May. The only way to get there is by being consistent in your follow-up. It's just hands down. And you, like Blair was, to Blair's point, when she asked, or she stated like, well, people don't respond back. Am I bugging them? Let me tell you, if they don't want to be on your text list, they'll tell you. I've gotten some pretty mean, like, take me off your list or leave me alone. But most of the time people just ignore it until they're ready. So
Well, how many of you get like pizza, or who is it? I get
Sonic.
Joanne's texts, like Joanne Fabric. I get their text message. Like, I get texts from these people every other day. Sonic sends me texts. Is that what you said, Shelly? Or did you say something different? Yeah. I mean, and I just delete it. Like, I move on. I read it. Nope, I'm not interested in that. Or I am, and I delete it. Like, I think that's kind of what we're in. I think are a few people that get annoyed. Most of the time, those people it was wrong number, supposedly, And
real quick, follow-up can look different for everyone. So I think I've talked to Lene, and she likes to call people. She doesn't like text as much as call. So she's going to call people. I personally do not like to call people. And for a long time, that's why I didn't do my follow-up, because I had a fear of calling people on the phone. So I text people. And if you're like, I don't know which one to do, you can ask your customer. You can note that, where it's like they prefer text, they prefer phone, or you can just do what you want to do. And so like, I have some people on my list, you'll text them and it comes back as, this is a landline. And I'm like, well, never going to follow up with that person. Because it's, there's only a select few where that happens, but make it
those
work
get
for you.
emails in my category. That's when I email.
Oh, emails. That's smart.
Yeah.
I should do that, but whatever. But, just
next time.
It's your business. So if you don't want to follow up, or you're not in the right mind space and you're like, I got to take May off, then take May off. But just get back into it. If you're like, man, I really want to make June solid, or say it's September and you're like, okay, life has slowed down, or I'm ready, or whatever, and you've got goals, follow up just all the time. And we'll constantly post and say stuff about it.
I forgot to say, if you have customers that come to your house and order, or buy from you, you've got stuff, you can add that in as an order. So like Shelly and I do a lot of events. I know some of you might do events too. So our customers come right in and buy right there. So it's not necessarily going to show up in my workstation. You can add their order into the Maven Amy. And that is truly, I think, the key. So you've got to set yourself up to be successful with the app. But as long as you're doing it and you're putting them in, then Amy tells you what to do. It gives you the to-do list. It takes the guesswork out of it. You don't have to ask, what should I do today? You open Amy and you just do whatever it tells you to do.
Yeah, it's so easy. All right.
Easy.
Yeah, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay, any other questions, thoughts? All right, perfect. Well, y'all have a great week, a great month. I'm excited to see what June brings. Typically, it's a slower month, but I have a sneaking suspicion that it's not going to be at all. So keep up the good work, do your follow-up, keep working, keep trying, and just know that I am beyond proud of all of you, and I just can't wait to see what you guys do.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.